Time now for the markets with Leighton. And Leighton, there's concern about acreage loss in corn.
Of course, Artist, tight supplies were already a factor even before our recent weather events. Also in our market headlines this week, cotton prospects also questionable due in part to dry weather. A sluggish economy hinders the cattle sector as chicken snares market share from the other white meat, pork. We begin with a nervous corn market. The nervousness is centered among grain users in the United States. The Dow Jones Newswires report there's a fear that farmers won't plant as many acres as they intended due to soggy fields in the eastern corn belt. A big U.S. corn crop is seen as mandatory this year because inventories are projected to fall to a 15-year low due to strong demand. Analyst Alan Brugler confirms that the cash corn market is getting nervous about old crop supplies. However, he says there's no doubt people are more concerned about the new corn crop developing.
The bird in the hand becomes worth two in the bush. You want to control those old crop inventories. We're seeing tremendous basis pushes for old crop, 20 or 30 cents over July futures if you'll sell today. So it's kind of a ratchet effect where the old crop is scarce and then the new crop gets nervous and then they both go up. So yeah, we're pretty tight right now.
Tight supplies are also a factor in the cotton market, along with weather difficulties. Dones reports Texas could face the loss of a third of its cotton crop due to severe drought. And here in the Mid-South, plantings are expected to be reduced due to recent flooding. I talked with Extension Ag economist John Michael Riley about the cotton market on Thursday morning. John Michael, the cotton market had a big day Wednesday, a rally underway. What's really the fuel here? Kind of recount the factors.
Well, I think the market's looking really hard at what's going on in West Texas and stemming up through Oklahoma, the tremendous drought going on there. You look at the Texas crop, what's planted right now, the crop progress, 65% of that crop is planted right at average, but you look at the condition of that crop, 31% rated poor and very poor, while only 33% is rated good, 0% rated excellent. So the crop's in pretty dire situation out there in that portion of the country where the bulk of the acres come from.
Now here in the Mid-South or in Mississippi, we're pretty much all planted as far as cotton, and crop condition is right now pretty good.
It does look good. We're at 95% planted, 63% rated good and excellent versus 2% poor. So the crop here in the state does look good. We still got a long way to go, obviously, but at this point in time, no big hickeys in Mississippi.
As far back to the big picture now, export sales, foreign sales, we've seen in recent weeks some cancellations. Are we still seeing that trend?
We are continuing to see that trend of cancellations of exports, primarily due just to the high price of cotton. The silver lining there is we've seen the dollar come off a little bit. It's weakened over the past couple of days, which could spur some exports as we look into the future. But exports still remain really strong. You know, we're looking at tremendous exports for the 2010-11 marketing year compared to years past. So that's been a lot of the previous fuel to the cotton prices, and maybe we'll start to see some exports pick back up as the dollar weakens.
And putting all this together now, looking at December cotton futures, what are you expecting? What is the market expecting as we get further into June here?
Well, we've seen some push off of demand with exports and domestically. That's one side of it, but this drought in Texas is probably going to be the big catalyst in terms of expectations as we move throughout the growing season.
And in recent years, this is quite unusual, this drought in Texas, the impact that appears it will have on the cotton market.
A lot of dryland cotton out there, and it's going to have some impact.
Well, we're now in the month of June, which is National Dairy Month. And for our trivia quiz, we want to check your current knowledge of this industry in our state. Here's the question: how many dairy farms are there in Mississippi in 2011? The answer is either 98 or 124 or 139 or 156. You'll find out the correct choice in a few more minutes. The pressure is on as far as livestock futures here in the first week of June. Drovers Cattle Network reports that ample cattle supplies and a gloomy economic outlook are combining to increase the existing worries about demand. A key negative this week, disappointing jobs report out of Washington that fuels selling in the equity markets. Cattle futures prices have tumbled since setting records back in April. Analysts say that continued weakness in the economy will likely increase the pressure on the beef market. When it comes to white meat, it appears that chicken wins as far as market share in the present economy. That means the loser, of course, is pork. The hog sector has seen a weakness on the boards. Analyst Sue Martin notes that the cash hog market is premium to the futures for the summer months. That is abnormal for this time of year, she says.
The one thing we've got going here in the hog market, and this is what they're fighting, is extremely cheap poultry prices. And because they have extremely cheap poultry prices and the price of corn still ebbing higher, unfortunately the hog producers being squeezed a little bit, and they're losing some money right now because of the way this situation is. Again, the domestic consumption is going to the cheaper meat, poultry.
The government's monthly cold storage update out in late May shows year-to-year increases in red meat and poultry supplies. Frozen beef supplies were up 20% from May a year ago. Pork was 13% above last year. Chicken supplies in the nation's coolers up 18% from 2010, while turkey was the only meat to record a decrease, down 14%. It's time to conclude our markets, which means a return to that trivia quiz. B is our correct answer this week. In March 2011, there were 124 dairy operations left in Mississippi, according to the State Department of Health.